Hello everyone. I hope we all are keeping safe and preparing for our upcoming prelims examination, the notification for which is likely to be out in any day from now. We need to be on a positive edge, as I have always requested. Today I am in front of you to discuss about the new cyclonic storm that is about to make landfall today post afternoon in West Bengal. I am talking about Amphan. It is pronounced Amphan, though it is of course spelled, we all are aware of, as Amphan. Actually, the name is last in the series that was being outlined in 2004, including the region which includes the South China Sea along with Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea. As you must be aware of, the cyclonic circulation influences some of the selective marginal water bodies, and the countries that gets regularly affected by it decides on the list of the names. So the list of the names that we had, including some 64 names, contributed by 8 countries, 8 names each. And this list comes to an end with this cyclonic circulation, and we'll be beginning with the new list now. And the 8 countries, simply try to recall their names. South Asian countries includes India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, along with Maldives and Sri Lanka. In West Asia, we include Oman, and in the Southeast Asian region, we include Myanmar and Thailand. The present cyclonic storm that we are experiencing is getting its name from Thailand's suggested list. The last super cyclone that we experienced, Phony, was the name suggested from Bangladesh list. So when we talk about the meaning of the name of this cyclone, it actually represents sky. We are taking the understanding of its movement and what are the areas that can get influenced by it one by one. So let us get going to our study of new cyclonic circulation that is all set to make landfall in India. So we are trying to learn the characteristics of Cyclone Amphan. As I said, it means the sky, and the name was given to us by Thailand in year 2004. This cyclone is likely to hit West Bengal along with Odisha and will eventually weaken. Now, the first question that we have to answer is, I have discussed tropical cyclone already twice in 2 videos, so you can have a look there, because I will not be talking about the technicalities of the cyclonic circulation and its development. But what exactly makes Bay of Bengal such important, or the water body in the country that experiences most intense and most frequent tropical cyclonic circulation? There has to be a reason for it. As in, during summers, during retreating monsoonal season, why it is Bay of Bengal that experiences cyclonic circulation? So Bay of Bengal is more enclosed water body compared to Arabian Sea. Now, because it is more enclosed, it is likely to be influenced by the temperature conditions that we see in land areas. So during summers, when land mass is immensely heated and thus develops low pressure, logically water bodies should have high pressure. That is the reason during summers we don't that swiftly experience cyclonic circulation, and the season that is defined by IMD for cyclonic circulation is retreating monsoonal season, because during retreating monsoonal season land develops high pressure swiftly because of the apparent shift of sun towards south, and the neighboring water bodies, because was in influence of a hot land for last 6 months or so, develops comparative low pressure, making cyclonic surges. And I am repeating this, so be very cautious with it. First thing, enclosed water body, Bay of Bengal is more prone to tropical cyclonic circulation. Second thing, cyclonic circulations are typical to both summers and retreating monsoon. Why it is so that retreating monsoon is considered to be more effective when it comes to tropical cyclone, because during retreating monsoon, low pressure will be the immense characteristics of Bay of Bengal, as during summers low pressure will be more on land. But because Bay of Bengal is encountered or is recognized with these mouths of the river, so you have to see this advancing depositional shoreline of river Mahanadi. You know, these are Sundarbans of Padma Jamuna that extends up to Bangladesh. So because of these advancing depositional shoreline, I have discussed that in one of the geomorphic videos, please have a look of it. You do have availability of moisture even inland, and that is the reason it further enhances the capacity of Bay of Bengal to develop tropical cyclonic circulation. Let us see it on this diagram. River Ganga, River Padma, West Bengal, and we have got River Mahanadi that is developing its advancing depositional shoreline right here. So these rivers facilitates River Godavari, River Krishna. So for tropical cyclone, I require high temperature. For tropical cyclone, I require moisture content. And these two are easily fulfilled in Bay of Bengal, making Bay of Bengal quite prone to, and I am repeating the term, Bay of Bengal is more frequent and intense with its tropical cyclonic circulation. Now talking about the tropical cyclonic circulation that we are right now experiencing, Amphan, it is likely to make its move towards the north. So I have got this travel track that is coming from IMD's weather tracking system. Amphan is marking its move towards north, and it is very clearly referred that today, Wednesday, it is likely to make a landfall right here in West Bengal, Bangladesh, and by Thursday, that is tomorrow, it is likely to dissipate because tropical cyclone dies after landfall, specifically due to lack of availability of moisture. A big question that automatically crops up in the mind is why it is so that tropical cyclonic circulation takes its north-northwestward move. There has to be a reason to it, and the reason has to again do with the same fact. On this map, if you try to see the nature of shoreline distance, you will easily understand that more I am traveling north in Bay of Bengal, I am making it more enclosed. Southern Bay of Bengal is much open water body compared to Northern Bay of Bengal. And because we are having more enclosed characteristics, I will be having more intense pressure or more intense low pressure that will facilitate the movement of the system. So the northward movement, and I am writing it here, northward movement is essentially facilitated by pressure gradient force, and which is regulated by nature of enclosed, nature of shoreline distance, or the nature of enclosed characteristics of water body. In the newspaper clipping, we are noticing that there is the movement northward of the system, and in this system we are having the impact that is being marked up with variable colors. Like we can see this center of the system, what will be the characteristics? It is phenomenal. Surrounding it, we have got the light green color. What will be the impact of this very high sea? That means we will have immense low pressure and thus strong winds, followed on by weakening characteristics as we are moving outside the system. We are aware of the internal structure of tropical cyclone. So I am changing from phenomenal, which is light yellow in this diagram, to very high sea, that is green in this diagram, high to very high sea, that is blue in this diagram, and very rough sea, that is grey in the diagram. And what is the movement track? The movement track without any doubt is oriented towards the northward shift. And why northward shift? Because of the pressure gradient. Now please don't miss to see that it is till this point, I am pointing out the arrow, that we have observed track, and this green arc that follows thereby is the forecasted track. And that forecasted track is saying that it will have its landfall in West Bengal and neighboring Bangladesh. Make landfall close to Sundarbans in West Bengal during Wednesday afternoon and evening, being continuously tracked by Doppler weather radar at Visakhapatnam to bring extremely heavy rainfall more than 20 centimeters in coastal West Bengal. And we need to understand that when the wind velocity is 155 to 165 kilometers per hour, it is considered to be very devastating. So the time of landfall, it is likely to have the wind velocity of more than 155 kilometers per hour, which can touch 185 kilometers per hour. And that is surely going to be quite devastating because of the sea surges that we have taken the note earlier here. Tropical cyclonic circulation gives us certain standard references of the studies, but before we get to the mention of that, I want to read it from here. Districts to be affected in West Bengal is East and West Midnapore, South and North Parganas, Howrah, Hooghly, Kolkata and adjoining areas. And the districts to be affected in Odisha is Jagat Singhpur, Kendrapara, Balasore, Jajpur, Mayurbhanj and adjoining districts. So how to trace them in the given map? Let us try to understand it like this. The areas where we are likely to experience the landfall of tropical cyclone will be related to this belt. That is the reason we are talking about West Bengal and Bangladesh. So this 24 Parganas, the western and eastern Midnapore, these are the areas where we are having the effect of the tropical cyclone that is likely to make the landfall. The tropical cyclone pronounced as Amphan. And if I have to take reference of Odisha, all the places that we can see is precisely north of Bhubaneswar. So Bhubaneswar is visible on this map, and if you try to see the areas beyond, places that can experience landfall of tropical cyclone includes Jagat Singhpur right here. It can also include Jajpur, which can easily be picked up, place here. Jajpur, the Midnapore district, the 24 Parganas are the areas where we are likely to have the landfall of tropical cyclone. Now talking about conventional part of the study, this tropical cyclone is considered to be fifth category in terms of its intensity. So it is going to be the severe cyclonic storm, which is likely to touch the wind velocity of very severe cyclonic circulation on its landfall. I have already talked about, this is in reference to Indian Meteorological Department. The types of cyclone that IMD demarcates is based on the developed pressure gradient force, which is the determiner of the wind velocity. So I have got 7 different categories of cyclones that we distinguish in our country. Which type of cyclone Amphan is? It is the tropical cyclonic circulation that represents 5th category severe cyclonic storm and is likely to become very severe cyclonic storm by the time it will make landfall. And you can notice the wind velocity of 117 to 220 kilometers per hour. This table we have taken note earlier also, and you must be aware of these 7 categories of the tropical cyclone. Another very important thing that we have come across in the newspapers in regards to this tropical cyclone is yellow warning has been released. Now before I talk about yellow warning, what you need to understand is that IMD follows certain categories of warning, and which are they? There are 4 stages of warning that is followed on by Indian Meteorological Department, and these stages are being named as pre-cyclone watch, which marks up its application some 72 hours in advance. About the development of a tropical cyclonic disturbances in any of the Indian Ocean region, including Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea. The second stage of warning is called cyclone alert, which is released at least 48 hours in advance of the expected commencement of the adverse weather conditions over coastal areas. And it contains more detailed information, in regards to the location, intensity of storms, etc. Then comes in the third level, and third level or third stage of warning is called cyclone warning, because now we are in much better position of deciphering the nature of developed tropical cyclone. So it is 24 hours in advance, and we take the third stage with effective understanding of the time and location of landfall. So this is the level where we are actually right now when it comes to the cyclone Amphan. That we know what is the intensity of the wind, that we know what is the likely to be the weather effectivity, level of sea, disturbances of the sea surges, and also the precise location of the landfall. After this, the fourth stage of warning is considered to be post landfall outlook. Now, post landfall outlook is more about what is likely to be the impact. So, some 12 hours in advance by default of landfall. So, it gives likely direction of the movement of the cyclone. After the cyclone has made landfall, what is the path that it is likely to take? What will be the change in its wind velocity because of the frictional drag induced by land? What exactly will be the nature of its impact on the area where it has experienced landfall? All that type of references. So, pre-cyclone watch, cyclone alert, cyclone warning and post-landfall outlook is basically the attempt of warning system that IMD follows. It is this perfection that actually makes IMD one of the most sophisticated in terms of timely prediction of tropical cyclone. But when we talk about these 4 stages of warning, we should not be misinterpreting it. Like when I say pre-cyclone watch or cyclone alert, it's about creating possibilities of awareness that what is required to be done, because this will be the nature of tropical cyclone development. Before I change over with a generally confused expression, the 4 stages of warning include 72, 48, 24 and 12 hours of the time factor, and the names have to be very officially taken into account. We are in those times where the current affairs section has reduced itself only in around COVID-19, and keeping an eye on the coming prelims examination, anything that comes up beyond that by default is this climate induced hazard. So, is these 4 stages of warning synonym to the alert that IMD provides? Relates to, but it's not synonym. What alerts I'm talking about? I'm talking about the alerts that goes up with green, yellow, orange and red. And because we follow certain colors, it basically gives us the understanding of what exactly we are trying to communicate in terms of the possible hazard that cyclone will be developing. These different color codes are mentioned since the monsoon season, post-monsoon season to be more precise, of 2006. So, we are using it post 2006 monsoons. and it basically is applied by NDMA, National Disaster Management Authority, in terms of justifying what is likely to be the requirement, what is likely to be the requirement by the local authority and the people in terms of the nature of warning. So if it is green, it is just an outlook, so you need to be cautious about, nothing concrete to be done. When we say that cyclone alert is yellow, so yellow goes with cyclone alert. It's an advisory that there is likely to be a hazardous weather condition and we should be aware of it. Orange stands for cyclone warning. And when it is red, it is post landfall outlook. Let us try to correlate both the things. 4 stages of warning by IMD and 4 stages of cyclone alert warning by NDMA. So, NDMA, if is using green color, yellow color, orange color, red color, we can easily correlate it with 4 stages of warning. Utilization has to be categorized. So what is green? 72 hours in advance. It is the stage of warning that is just creating a sort of awareness. So it's pre-cyclone watch. What is yellow? It's cyclone alert, that there is likely to be the hazard and we need to be prepared with it. And it is this yellow alert that has been given for the present cyclonic circulation. And what is meant by cyclone warning? Cyclone warning effect is 24 hours, it is orange color, and post landfall outlook is red color. So the 4 stages of IMD and 4 stages of NDMA do correlate to each other. IMD is more about weather mechanism, NDMA is more about impact, the hazard that it can create. I hope this will help you in revising. I'll surely advise. I have uploaded the video on tropical cyclone while dealing up with NCERT, so I have not dealt up with the mechanism of the same. Take note of that. If you are not aware of the mechanism of tropical cyclone, just try to add it with this specific case. There are certain important questions that normally crops up in our mind when it comes to how it is so that we name the different types of tropical cyclone. Like the last cyclone was being named Phony, which meant snake, the name that came from Bangladesh, as I said in the beginning. And now we are naming it Amphan, which is coming from Thailand. Or we have different set of names with which we correlate the cyclonic circulation in, say, Pacific Ocean region. It is a group of countries that decides on the names. It is also how IMD and NDMA tends to take a different outlook to the tropical cyclone. It's basically to make it easy for us to communicate, not just with the authority but also with the commoners, for the quick response and minimizing the involved risk that is there with this climate-induced natural hazard. Take good care of your health. Happy learning. All the very best to all of you.